How's it, Aloha gang? Welcome back to High Now Daily. A new episode of A Leader's Journey will be released this Sunday.
Yunji Dewey sat down with Foodbank CEO Amy Miller. Here's Yunji with more.
On the next episode of A Leader's Journey, meet Amy Miller. As president and CEO of the Hawaii Foodbank, she's on a mission to end hunger in the islands. Here's a preview of our conversation. What do you think Hawaii needs most from its leaders right now?
I think courage is something that we need to step up into this space right now. I mean, I think that, Hawaii is we're in a pivotal time. We are losing population. More Native Hawaiians live outside of Hawaii than in right now. I was speaking with somebody the other day who was a real estate agent, said he's selling more homes in Las Vegas to families than here in Hawaii. And I think it's a real crisis. People cannot afford to live here, and we have to fix that. Otherwise, what will this place be without the people? And so I really actually think it's time for us to stop kind of working around the edges and really address the big systemic issues that we have that make it so hard for so many families.
And so what does that look like in practice to you?
Being willing to say what is okay and what isn't okay. Being willing to think about big changes and maybe us accepting that the status quo isn't acceptable anymore. We can get together and say, this isn't okay, and these are the things that we need to do as a community in order to be sure that everybody comes along. But I think we have to be willing to understand that it's, our lives today, for those of us that are lucky and we have jobs and we aren't struggling, that's, there's so many families that aren't in that position, and it's just not okay. It's not okay for us to pretend that's not happening anymore. I was recently at a talk, and this woman shared that even intermittent food insecurity for very young children can cause permanent changes in the brain structure. And I just thought, we just can't do this. We are jeopardizing our future as a community because we are not ensuring that especially our youngest kids have access to safe and healthy food. So I really do think that this is something, if we can tackle it together and address it and just make sure our kids have food, make sure our families have food, that opens up so many other great opportunities and outcomes for our whole community.
In my interactions with you, what always strikes me is that you're so warm and kind, and I wonder how kindness is an asset to leadership.
I mean, that's what I tell my kids every day. Being kind, I think, is so important, right? It's all about connections and connecting with people. And, if you have an opportunity to make somebody's life a little bit better, to me, that's a big part of being human. It's important to be kind, to be thoughtful, to be thinking of other people I do think it's an important part of leadership.
Amy Miller reminds us that leadership means standing in the gap for others. See the full episode on air and online at hawaiinewsnow.com.